Temptations and trials. Blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him. James chapter 1, verse 12. Temptations and trials are not pleasant experiences, but they are inevitable for a believer. Temptations and trials are not the same. The devil tempts while God tests his people. The aim of the devil's temptations is also different from the purpose of being tried by God. The devil tempts men to sin against God. The devil also tempts men so that he could prove to God that they never loved him in the first place. However, God tries his people to prove their love for him, to increase their faith, to show his glory, and establish to their feet firmly in the paths of righteousness. James chapter 1 verse 13 to 14. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man, but every man is tempted, when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. God will never tempt any man. The reason is that the purpose of temptation is to bring a man to a fallen state, so as to be ridiculed, and God will never at any point in time try to make men whom he had created in his image to fall. His tests are to establish your faith. James chapter 1 verse 2 to 4. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. More so, evil is not compatible with God. It is the devil that tempts. He tempts because he has fallen himself and would want all men to be as he is. No man should ever accuse God of being tempted by him. No man can tempt God with evil. Neither will God tempt any man with evil. Temptations are the devil's instruments that make believers fall. However, believers should know that temptations are inevitable, for Jesus was tempted, and that temptation is not a sin in itself until it has been fallen into. Every temptation is an enticement or allurement to act against God's commands. It is when a man yields to this allurement that he becomes a victim of the devil. James chapter 1 verse 12. Blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him. The devil usually seizes the opportunities we give him or the hard times of our lives to tempt and try us. Therefore, we must be careful not to leave any door open for the devil to come through. Before the devil could tempt our Lord Jesus Christ, he first looked for a good opportunity to do that. Jesus had just ended a 40-day and 40 nights of prayers and fasting. It was at such a crucial point that the devil came to him, at a time when the appetite of Jesus Christ for food was the highest. The method of the devil always remains the same, and if we are wise enough, we will discern all the enticements. Matthew chapter 4 verse 2 to 3. And when we had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward a-hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. Believers need to be careful because the devil is cunning. Considering the mode of Jesus' temptation by the devil, we can deduce that the devil can use what we have and even what we crave to tempt us. The devil knew that Jesus was the Son of God, and he did not try to argue that out, but he would have Jesus to prove his sonship through a wrong medium, using his appetite to ensnare him. It was appropriate for Jesus to turn water to wine, but it would amount to self-glorification for him to turn stone to bread, just to prove a point that the devil already knew. For the 3 times that Jesus was tempted of the devil in the wilderness, he used the same approach of enticement, trying to lure him to do what was contrary to the will of God. Like Jesus, we all are tempted every day. The devil seeks opportunities to tempt us. When you are in need, the devil will entice you to help yourself through ungodly means. Believers should learn to take their stand against the devil, even if it means suffering for a little while. Your spirit, your faith must be stronger than the flesh. Romans chapter 8 verse 8 to 9. So then, those who are in the flesh cannot please God, but you are not in the flesh but in the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now, if anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, he is not his. Galatians chapter 5 verse 16 to 17. I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. The blessedness of standing against temptation always comes after you are able to overcome it. Jesus never died of hunger, even after refusing to turn a stone into bread. Then why do you think that your hard times will ruin you? Believers should also bear in mind that God tries his children not to destroy them, but to bring out the best in them. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 7 to 8. If you endure chastening, God deals with you as with sons. For what son is there whom a father does not chasten? But if you are without chastening, of which all have become partakers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. God is a loving Father who would not want us to go astray. He disciplines and corrects us in love, just as our earthly fathers do to the children they love. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12 to 14. Beloved, do not think in strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you, but rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory is revealed, you may also be glad with exceeding joy. If you are reproached for the name of Christ, blessed are you, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests upon you. On their part, he is blasphemed, but on your part, he is glorified. The purpose of trials is to build up the believers and to prove their love for God. Although it may not be a pleasant experience at first, however, it is for our utmost good. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 9 to 11. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who created us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed for a few days chastened us, as seemed best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening seems to be joyful for the present, but painful. Nevertheless, afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 6 to 7. In this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by various trials, that the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ.